Hi everyone, my name is Carter from ianaiERP Systems. Today we're going to walk through builds and I'll guide you step by step so you can see exactly how this works in your all-in-one ERP solution. In ianaiERP, builds are used to manage the assembly of finished goods from raw materials or components. This feature is essential for business involved in manufacturing or assembly processes. In our builds function, it converts component items into finished goods, and each build transaction decreases the inventory of components and increases the inventory of the finished good. The system supports the multi-levels of bill of materials for complex assemblies as well. So here on our dashboard, you can access the build by simply clicking on the build under the manufacturing. This is connected with the items and the bill of materials that I created in our previous video. So if you haven't seen them or watched them, please go back and see how I created an item or I created the BOM based on our needs. So today, for simplicity, I'm going to explain to you that we had created an item called cup, box, and lids that led to the manufacturing of the mug for the bill of materials. Let me actually go through the demonstration of adding the bill of materials so that it can be connected to the build as well. So I'll make it very simple. So it's a mug that we picked as an assembly. So for item, yeah, I don't think I'll just create a one real quick here. So name is a mug, and it's an assembly, and we are going to have it in the coffee stand. Let's do mug 2. So item was successfully created, and then we're going to have the effective start date from today all the way to the end of the month. To make the mug, we need a cup, we need a lids, and we need one box. That's going to make a set of a mug set. Let's just switch as a mug set. So we're going to need one cup, one lid, and one box. And as I said, you can add different kinds of variables to make your BOM rules more customizable. But in this video, we're going to keep it simple. So I'm going to save and close. So we created a mug 2 item, which is a mug set, revision number 1, that we had a start date from today and all the way to the end of the month. So now let's build one. So when you go to build orders, you're going to add new, and you're going to see that we're going to build the mug 2 item. This is the only BOM that we have in our system, but if you take a look at with multiple BOMs, you're going to be able to choose which BOM you want to connect this build into. So we're going to make one mug 2 with the build number, and the BOM was a mug set. We're going to build it in our coffee stand. So as you can see from this item, it tells you the current stock management and what we are going to use based on the BOM that we created. So for example, the cup and lids and box were auto set in our BOM that we're going to use one of each of these items. As you can see from here, we don't have lids on hand, we don't have box on hand, and we're also tracking the lot here. So when we press save and close, as you can see, the list quantity is not enough and the box needs to be changed as well. So we're going to use the function inventory adjustment here. So as you can see, we lacked lids and box, right, in our coffee stand, right? And we're going to have our new quantity of 30 of them each. Okay, we're going to make this adjustment. And then once we go back to our build, this time when we add new, time, build item, quantity, build, everything good in our coffee stand. Now you can see that we had adjusted our inventory management by doing the adjustment. So here it's very self-explanatory. So cup, lids, and box are all needed for this build. We had this in hand. So if you click save and close, you're going to be able to see that the build has been created from our system, and its status is completed with the mug item 2 in the quantity of 1 at a location of coffee stand. As I explained to you in the beginning of the video, our key functions of the build is that we're going to be able to create a build like we did. We can track the progress. But one of the more important thing is that we can consume the specific stock, right? Meaning that if you go to our item here, and then if you open up, if you see the cup and a box and a lid, you can see their stock has been decreased automatically from our build. So if you could just click the menu here and then look at the stock history, you're going to be able to see that we had consumed one of these items through the build and a quantity change of -1, that now we have the 9,999 cups on hand. So this is a very cool feature where just you build, finish your build, it automatically adjusts the inventory for you. So as for the best practices for these build orders, ensure that all components are correctly identified and quantities are accurate. You have seen in this video where my quantity for lids and box were not sufficient, therefore the build was not going through. And also, review and update the builds and underlying BOMs when process or costs change, because they will directly impact the inventory management as we go. And then use base units of measurement consistently across the components, and make sure to include all relevant costs so that it can track the cost as well. So again, just like BOM, the build is not just an independent component where you just create a build and it's done from here. It's a dynamic variable where you interact with items or bill of materials, adjustment, transfer. So I can see that these user guides are getting more complex as we need to interconnect between multiple variables. But please hang in there. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a message or send an email to our support, and we'll be able to support you. So this is it for our video today, and hope to see you in the next one as well. Thank you.